guys know that one famous anime meme where it starts with like the smile, sweet, sister, sadistic, and then goes to like Snoop Dogg or whatever? It was a pretty famous like anime meme. If you haven't seen it, go watch it because it's kind of funny. It definitely is worth a laugh, but there's so much more to this story than just the funny memes, because there was actually supposed to be an English translated manga for that show, Blend S. And if you're not familiar with Blend S because you just saw the meme, that's fine. I'll give a little context on kind of what Blend S is, what the English translation of the manga means, and why we never got it. Strap in, folks. This is a really interesting story. Grab your popcorn. But before you do that, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'm going to tell you guys the story of Soul Press. Blend S, the show from the meme, it kind of got popular because of the meme. It was a pretty standard slice of life show. It was made by A1 Pictures. A1 Pictures does shows like Fairy Tail, Your Lie in April. They do some pretty popular stuff, but this in particular got popular because of the meme. Not that it wouldn't have gotten popular if it weren't for the meme, but it just was an interesting kind of unique situation because the internet kind of hoisted it to a level of popularity it probably wouldn't have had otherwise. It would be no surprise then for something like this to end up getting an English translated manga. I mean, the anime had the English subtitled version. Why not the manga too? I get it, it's a little bit more tricky to get that out, like worked out logistically, but it would only make sense that at some point it would happen. And that's exactly what did happen. Kind of. Because it was picked up, licensed by Soul Press. Now, you probably haven't heard of Soul Press, but Soul Press kind of was gaining some notoriety in the late 2010s. In 2017 is when it was founded, and it was done so by Michael Valdez, who basically thought to himself, you know what, these translations take way too long. I want to speed up the process, so I'm going to start a Kickstarter. We're going to get this business going. And it succeeded. The initial kind of funding was like around $30,000. It was enough to get their feet off the ground and get some initial titles published. They started out more in the realm of visual novels on Steam, and then light novels. But they didn't completely stray away from the realm of manga either. And so they kind of dabbled in a few different things and succeeded for the most part for the first couple of years. This lasted all the way from 2017 into 2020. They were still announcing titles, and they only seemed to be growing in kind of the popularity of the things that they were able to pick up. So one of the titles, for instance, that they were able to pick up in this amount of time is The Order a Rabbit, which coincidentally is another A1 animated show if I'm not mistaken, and Blend S. They were able to pick up some bigger name titles. They had some other titles that had some kind of more niche fan bases, but these were really the first couple where they had some kind of national notoriety starting to shine down upon them, which makes things really interesting because this is where things start to go downhill a bit for Soul Press. So, December 23rd, 2020. Soul Press announces that they have the rights to Blend S and that they are publishing the manga both digitally and physically in English. They advertise this quite a bit, but they don't have any dates for when you're going to receive the product. That's okay. That happens in anime a lot. If you order figures or you order a Blu-ray, chances are you know, as an anime fan, that those don't just get shipped right to your door. They're pre-orders, and they take maybe anywhere from 5 months to like a year. Pre-orders in anime specifically take a really long time, so not having a specified date isn't the worst thing in the world, but it should have at least drawn some red flags, because even companies like Good Smile, they're the ones that make Nendoroids. They're kind of like pop figures, but of anime characters and a little bit more expensive, more well done. They will at least say like, we expect it to be like October, right? Or February. They'll give you kind of an estimated date for when they think that figure is going to release. Soul Press didn't even do that much. They just said, we've got the rights, we're going to make it. That should have been a red flag from the beginning, but oh boy, it goes so much deeper than that. Because they didn't give any updates except for the fact that they were selling it through May, the month of May. They said, hey, we're still like selling the thing, Yeah, still don't have a date for when, but we're still selling. So this is like 6 months later. My
dumb idiot brain
said, ooh, Blend S English translation. And I put in a pre-order for the English translated manga. I didn't get any updates on that. You know, whatever. I will say this. I'll pull it up on my phone just to make sure that I quote this correctly. But I did actually DM Soul Press at the time and just asked, like, pretty, generally. I said, hello. I was wondering if there was an estimated time frame for the physical copies of Blend S Volume 1 to start shipping. I pre-ordered one a little while back and was just curious if there was any updates on that. And they said, we do not have an estimated time of arrival right now. And I just said, like, darn, thanks for the response, whatever. And that was on August 11th, which, coincidentally, this is the funny part, I guess kind of an ironic way. The funny part of things, if I remember correctly, I'm scrolling through their Twitter now. August 11th was the day that their website started having some troubles. They tweeted out and they said, hello everyone. We're aware the website is down at the moment. It is being worked on and should be up soon. In the meantime, I, the social media manager, will reply to this post with an updated list for the roundup. I'll be sure to make a dedicated page once the website is back up. The website did not come back up. It's still not there. This is not like August of 2022. This is August of 2021. It has not been there for over a year. Now, if you're thinking at this point, well, that's crazy that the website's been down that long. I'm gonna fill in the gaps for you because once you hear kind of what happened behind the scenes, it makes a whole lot of sense. Rumors were kind of starting to circulate after the website went down. They were like, is Soul Press maybe not being as honest and maybe not quite as good as we once thought that they were? And those rumors turned out to be true in October. People went to the Soul Press, like, business page for the state of California. People went deep for this. And they found out that their business had been suspended, their business license, or it had been forfeited, rather, for not having paid their taxes. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not like tax evasion. It is, they didn't have the money to pay their taxes. So they didn't like renew their license essentially because they simply didn't have the money to pay the taxes that go along with running a business. So they forfeited their right to sell anything. So tax evasion sounds a lot cooler, but I don't really think that that is quite the qualification here. So if you guys wanted to point fingers, say tax evasion, maybe a bit far, but they didn't pay their taxes that they needed in order to continue doing business. And so their business license was forfeited by the state of California. And this was where people got really skeptical of whether or not Soul Press even really existed anymore. So, like, was there any efforts to get Soul Press back, or what's going on? I mean, just in general, where's my manga that I bought? What's going on? Will I ever get my manga that I bought? Can I get a refund? The answer to that is kind of yes, in a way. Soul Press had a Discord, and it looked like the social media manager, bless his soul, he gave like updates on the Soul Press Twitter page from there and basically said, we've been giving away as many refunds as we can, but eventually the account got overdrawn and they couldn't give out refunds anymore. And you might say, well, yeah, like overdrawing the account is a problem, but like, why not? Why can't they continue to give out refunds, file bankruptcy, and all that? It's because of their CEO, who fled the scene, quite literally. There has been no communication with the CEO of Soul Press since mid-2021. He's not updated his LinkedIn page. He's not responded to any messages from anyone. Quite literally took the money and ran. And we don't know, like, if he took them, like, any money or what he did, like, where he is. We don't know anything about where Michael Valdez is, the CEO of Soul Press. And basically, unless he magically shows up again one day, we don't know what's going to happen with that. All that said, by the time that I saw the refunds were being issued, unfortunately the window was too late. I can't get a refund on my Volume 1 of Blend S that I pre-ordered. many, many months ago. My luck. But that said, just a wild story of a publisher who really had a lot of potential, but judging by some of the inside stuff that was happening in the late 2010s, like 2018, sounds like they weren't paying people enough, and the process wasn't going as well as they would have liked. It sounds like they were just kind of in over their heads, and then the CEO, once he saw that it wasn't working, was like, I'm out, and hasn't been heard from since. Absolutely wild story. Soul Press, obviously, is not coming back anytime soon. The only hope that we have for a Blend S English translation, or for a lot of these manga, just an English translation to start or even finish, some of them are just unfinished, is if other publishers end up picking them up later, which, as of right now, it hasn't been done for Blend S. I hope that it does happen one day. I'm not sure about any of the others, like Is the Order a Rabbit, but absolutely a wild story, and one that I thought I'd tell because it's one that I've known about for a while, but haven't really sat and kind of organized my thoughts on it. So if you like this little kind of story about Soul Press and how they absolutely ruined their chances at being a legitimate contender in the manga scene, go ahead and like the video. And if you want me to cover more kind of interesting stories like this, please leave a comment and let me know. And subscribe as well, because that's always cool. You can do that. And if you're feeling extra crazy, click the notification bell. This has been another Jelswick anime manga video. I don't read manga. The fact that Blend S was going to make me do that is already shocking enough. Maybe I'll talk about manga again sometime. Only time will tell. For the time being, though, I've been Jelswick, and I'll see you next time.